Hello, my name is Richard Hartnett. You probably know me because I did a reading for you at a psychic fair or at a private event. And you may not know that for over 40 years I've been a teacher of metaphysics and spirituality classes. For the last several years I have been doing some research into a new class that I've been working on called You and the Cosmos. And it's a very exciting class because it looks at many different pieces of information and puts them together to give us a more holistic image of what the universe is all about and what your relationship is with the universe. Who is this class for? Well, if you've ever looked up at the nighttime sky and you've seen the stars and wondered what the universe was up to and what was your role in what the universe was up to, then this class is for you. Now, there's two key areas that we look at to find answers about what the universe is up to. The first one is science. Now, science does a really wonderful job of investigating the laws and principles that govern how the universe expresses and figures out how things work. And once we understand that, then we can utilize those laws and principles to make ourselves a better world. But when it comes to things like meaning or purpose, science tends to stay away from those kinds of questions, and instead tends to look at the universe as nothing but a big machine. Well, there's never been a machine made that didn't have some kind of purpose. So where do we go to find answers to what the purpose of the universe is? Well, I think the key area we look at is spirituality. Now, spirituality includes religion, but it's not limited to just religion. We find spiritual truths in metaphysics, we find it in mythology, we even find it in our fairy tales if we look carefully. Now, the problem we have when it comes to looking at our universe, either from a scientific perspective or from a spiritual perspective, is the fact that we feel that we have to choose one or the other. We think that these contradict each other. But the truth of the matter is, somehow, some way, what we understand in science, as well as what we understand in spirituality, fits together within the wholeness of the universe. And that's what this class is about, is showing you how these things that we think of as separate are actually both part of the greater truth of what the universe is about and what its purpose is. And understanding that will give meaning to our lives. In duality, we look at the universe as either right or wrong, good or evil. And we feel that whatever is good, we want to embrace. Whatever is right, we want to embrace. But we reject what we think of as wrong or evil. Well, the problem with that is somehow, some way, whatever it is that we're rejecting is part of our universe and actually does fit into the grander scheme of things. We just have to figure out how to relate to it. It's kind of like when we were afraid of fire. Fire was something that scared us significantly. But eventually we started to recognize that fire could be our servant. But we had to expand our awareness into figuring out how fire works and how we can interact with fire in a way that's safe. Fire is still dangerous today, but we have a much better relationship with it than we did in the very beginning. Somehow, some way, all of the stories that we find in our religious teachings or our spiritual teachings, as well as science, because you got to remember science is also just a story about the universe, all of these stories somehow fit together. They're like pieces of a puzzle. And part of what we're doing in the You and the Cosmos class is we're looking at how do these pieces fit together so that we come up with a more holistic viewpoint of our world. And by having a more holistic viewpoint, we're more likely to be in alignment with what the universe is up to, and we're more likely to understand what its purpose is, and that, I believe, will give meaning to our lives. So I'd like to invite you to join me in taking this class. Now, I'll be presenting this class on a contribution basis because it's my first time teaching it, and there's still some rough spots that I need to polish. Now, if you'd like to take the class, what you need to do is you need to send me an email. Send the email to quantumspirit@ecentral.com indicating you'd like to be on the class list. And whenever I complete a lesson, I will send out an announcement to you on that lesson being complete so that you can go and watch the lesson and give me some feedback as to what you learned from that lesson. So thanks very much for watching this video today. I hope that you will give serious consideration to taking You and the Cosmos. I think you'll find it to be a very exciting class that will give you a sense of purpose, and that will restore meaning to your life, which I think is very, very valuable. So, thanks for paying attention. Look forward to seeing you in the class.